Hello folks, the Celtic Nerd here bringing you another nerdy video. If I sound strange, it is because at the time of this recording, an affliction that I have is really putting me through the ringer. It is a lot of pain, and so I need a distraction, so that's why I'm going to work on this. We are going to be starting the Jack the Ripper DLC. However, I will be doing as little commentary as I can. Now, obviously, towards the end of the game, I will obviously do the credit sequence. I'll try and do the credit sequence, and I will, talk about it, because I don't know if the credit sequence will be different for the Jack the Ripper DLC. But in either case, because I know we have the credits here, but I don't know if they cover the two expansions they cover all the DLC that came out with this game. Now there's a couple of DLC. There was the Darwin and Dickens Conspiracy DLC. There was the Last Maharaja DLC. There was the pre-order bonus of the train hideout. Yes, there was one mission involving that was DLC. And then we have the Jack the Ripper DLC, which has its own complete section, which is why it's I don't know if it's going to get its own playlist. Actually, you know what? It's going to get its own playlist, but I suspect that I will probably be finished with this DLC by today, depending on how many breaks I have to do due to the pain. So yeah, it might be best for me to do it that way. But in either case, I'm going to mute my mic and we'll get started. Now, folks, I do want to preface that I have never played the I played a minute of the Jack the Ripper DLC. The game came out, the DLC came out, I stayed over at a friend's house, we were busy playing Magic the Gathering, all that type of stuff all night, everyone was going to bed, I hopped on, I started playing it, but then I could feel myself getting extremely tired, and there was a lot of stuff going on in the game, and I was like, okay, I want to play this when I'm more awake, so I can pay attention to it, to what's going on. So I stopped playing and I headed home because my friend lived just down the road. So yeah, this was back when I was in community school, so we would quote unquote stay over at each other's houses, but we didn't actually sleep. We just played card games all fucking night and other video games but yeah, okay, so I'm gonna mute my mic now and we'll get started. Oh, here's another wave of pain. Okay, first off, it seems we had to go through another title screen, but so here we go. I just wanted to comment on that, okay, we have to go through the title screen again.
For 20 years, after the Assassins defeated the Templars in London, the city enjoyed a certain peace. Until the Autumn of Terror. In 1888, London is plunged into shadow and fear by a series of gruesome and unsolvable murders. The brothels of Whitechapel seem warm and safe by comparison to its streets, where prostitutes are being mutilated and left on grotesque display for the world to ogle. Jacob Frye hunts the elusive killer to bring an end to the terror of Jack the Ripper.
Get a move on, Mr. Finch. This is the story of a lifetime.
Mr. Weaversbrook, I know you have more of the Ripper's letters.
I told you to stay away from me.
Stop publishing his letters. You've turned an unknown miscreant into a legend, and that's exactly what he wants.
Jacob! Thank God I found you. It's the Ripper. He's done it again. Katie! Oh, he can't. No, he can't have. And Lizzie. Not both. Not in one night.
Nellie, remember what I said. Now go.
How many more assassins must die before you see the truth?
Only one more, Jack.
You should have believed, Jacob. Now, I will hunt you down.
I know you're there, Jack. The Master of Terror's afraid to show himself, is he?
I am your shadow, Jacob. I will gut every last one of them if that's the quickest way to you.
Come on, you monster! Let's be done with this!
Run all you like, Jacob. I will catch you. I need only follow your scent, the scent of a wounded animal. There is nowhere you can hide from me.
Stop! You want me, Jack? Come and kill me! This is not our way.
This is my creed. You cannot escape. Scurry back to your hole, little mouse. Going somewhere, Jacob?
Jack, you're sick.
Don't you see the irony, brother?
Jack!
Only you know who the Ripper is, but you can't tell a living soul because it would destroy you and the assassins. No, 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 no!
Jack! We can fix you.
Fix me? I am the solution.
Miss Fry?
Inspector Aberline. Why exactly have you had me escorted here?
My men and I have been hunting the Ripper around the clock for months now, and we've nothing to show for it. There's nothing I can tell the public.
What's the Ripper to do with me? My brother has had me summoned here from India. Can't this wait?
As far as I know, you may be the last assassin in London.
What do you mean? Where's Jacob?
I wish I knew. Your brother is nowhere to be found, even as an elusive shadow is committing the most hideous crimes this city has ever seen.
And you believe this is no coincidence?
The killer is selective and dispassionate and has left not a single trace of his passage. I've seen such a talent for assassination and avoiding detection only once before, when I worked with the two of you. And that is why your brother summoned you before he disappeared.
You think Jacob is dead?
I dare not believe it. But if he is, you may be the only person who can stop the Ripper now. Follow me.
When are you gonna stop that monster?
I'll take you to the site where the Ripper first struck.
Incompetent!
The journalists always seem to get the word first. We get there, they've trampled the evidence, and next day's headlines are dripping with blood. The few hundred yards between Flower and Dean Street have become so dangerous that even my best constables are afraid to patrol Whitechapel at night. Let's take a carriage, shall we? I'd rather not get egg on my face again today.
I'll drive. What has become of this borough?
Whitechapel is a cesspool of crime, Miss Fry, where terror reigns supreme. Elsewhere, the rich get richer, but here, the poor are living on the living, fighting to survive each day. Reporters share a view of Whitechapel as a lair of savages, monsters, and werewolves who
Here now.
hold honest citizens in a state of terror.
The Ripper's terror. Slowly now.
We are not far from where Mary Ann Nichols was murdered. I knew her as Polly. That's what her friends called her. But the woman who died here is not the woman I met a few times at the Frying Pan pub.
Then who was she?
I was hoping you could tell me. Go see for yourself.
This is where the Ripper committed his first murder. Was Miss Nichols' body identified?
Her husband hadn't seen her in 11 years. He barely glanced at the poor, mutilated woman before he had the gall to forgive her for what she'd done to him. The press reported widely that Miss Nichols' finger bore the mark of a ring. It was forcibly removed, and the same is true for his other victims. What did you discover?
Give me a moment. I found Miss Nichols' ring. An assassin's ring. She must have tossed it away during the struggle. A desperate act to protect the Brotherhood. You think they were targeted?
Yes, and the newspapers are accusing the police, me, of letting the first city of the world lapse into primeval savagery. I must take my leave, Miss Fry. I have other business in Whitechapel.
Good day, Inspector. Thank you for your discretion.
Alright folks, that is the end of the first mission. I am counting like the stuff at the start obviously as also the first mission, and oh my god, this is already a great sign. First off, just a simple, okay, so we're keeping up the, it looks like we're still keeping up the switching back and forth between characters. There's probably going to be some missions that are exclusive to Jack the Ripper, and then some missions that are exclusive to Evie. But I will say, from the last Maharaja DLC, like they had the chance to include some great detective stuff. Like I understand that Sherlock Holmes is fictional, but what they could have done is maybe create some kind of, like, maybe you could have met the author of Sherlock Holmes, and as such maybe he would have based the character of Sherlock on an assassin, and because the way we use eagle vision to detect, you know, clues and whatnot. I really feel like that was a missed opportunity, especially considering we team up with a police officer. But like, I'm glad we're getting like proper investigation stuff that is like, it's just fantastic. I'm really glad about that. So this is the first part of my Jack the Ripper content. I'm going to try and record as much of it as I can, because I don't know how much free roaming we're going to get a chance to do, possibly as Jack the Ripper. So every time I play a bit of this DLC, I'm going to be recording it. So, because like, maybe I'll have the entire day of Halloween be dedicated to this DLC. Like, I was recording as much of it as I can. In either case, I'm the Celtic Nerd, signing out. One name, one sky.